Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and I'm coming at y'all with a video. It is a personal video. It actually hits home for me because it is something that um, is a part of me, so to speak. But before I get into the video, I just want to let y'all see what Black History Month related type of shirt I have on today. So, this is what it is. I'm black every month. And if you don't get what that means, I don't know what to tell you. But I actually plan on doing another video that it actually is unexpected, but I'm gonna have to do it because of something that popped off today. Yeah. The most happened. Um, I literally clocked in at work. And less than 30 seconds later, something, a little something popped off, and I'm just like taken aback. But that's not what this video is about. This video, like I said before in my PSA, this is a serious video, and this video is going to cover food addiction. I recently actually said out loud and admitted that I have a food addiction. Now, the misconception that a lot of people have with people who have actually been diagnosed with it, or however they go about learning about it, or it's just the things that are actually displayed in their behaviors and the things that they do, that without a shadow of a doubt that there's a food addiction. It doesn't automatically equate, oh, the person is fat. I just so happen to be a fat person with a food addiction. I know several skinny people who ain't never had a drop of fat on their body who have food addictions. Like I said, I just so happen to be fat. Anyway, so yeah, it's funny, because I was talking to my mama one day, and this was like a couple of months ago. And I'm talking to her, and she randomly within the conversation said that she has a food addiction. I was taken aback. Now, a little back history on my mama, just a little bit. If you were to see pictures of my mother when her and my daddy first got together and all that stuff, you would be like, okay, what is going on here? My mama was literally a twig. She didn't have breasts. She did not have booty. She did not have hips. For the longest, I wondered where in the world I ever got booty, hips, and thighs from, because before I was even fat, I was always considered pear-shaped. So I didn't even understand where I got that from. But anyway, but yeah, she had 3 kids, and in between the pregnancies and even before she got pregnant, she would have various surgeries, and they would lead to her having to be out of commission, like completely out of commission, to the point of where even when I became old enough to do things, depending on what the surgery was, I had to clean the wound, and I had to disinfect the wound, make sure it was clean, all this stuff. Like, it was a lot, a whole lot. My mama has gone through a whole lot. When I tell you, just from based off of my memories, a lot of the surgeries that she had several surgeries since I've been born, and that the ones that I actually remember, like, that's how frequent she had surgeries, and they were all needed and necessary. She actually thought about going under the knife for bariatric types of surgeries as well, but I'm glad that it didn't lead to that. I'm not gonna go all the way into details about everything that's going on with her. Later on in this video, I might actually mention some things that she's doing, but yeah, all the other stuff will be left for another video. So with me, y'all, I mean, it's the typical story. If you sit up here and if you've never met anybody who has a food addiction, or you never heard of the things that I'm gonna say, And especially if you never heard of it until you basically started watching a TV show that everybody and their mama watch, My 600 Pound Life, then you just don't know. And if you've never been through these situations, you would not understand. So a lot of the times people will see these people on My 600 Pound Life say the reasons why they started eating. And for me, a lot of those situations are similar. And I mean, I hate to admit it, but they are. For me, I was teased a lot when I was in school because I was a nerd, meaning I loved school. I really loved school. I hated when we were out. Like when we would have, what they call it, AEA week. I don't know if anybody out there around my age or older who remembers AEA week. We'll be out for AEA week. Since we didn't really ever in life get snow, we had a snow day. And I remember one year they ended up taking our snow day away, or no, giving us a snow day to use, because it's funny because it was a tornado that came through. Y'all, one day I would tell y'all, I can't, oh Lord, oh gosh, because of where I'm from, tornadoes are basically like breathing air. They are beyond normal, and I just can't. Lord, when I tell y'all, that was a lot. So anyway, so I was a nerd in school. I loved school. I hated being out of school. I always got perfect attendance. I had loved every subject in school except math. I don't know what that's about. I hate math with a passion. The older I got, the further in school I got, I had teachers who cared. Beforehand, before all that happened, I had teachers that were like, she's amazing and everything else, we're going to pass her on the math part. They would literally just give me B's and C's and sometimes A's and stuff like that because I really would try. I hate math. Y'all, so anyway, people would tease me, and it got to a point where people started joking on me for my size. And I was not even, this is the dumb part, y'all, I was not even fat back then. I was not even chunky. I wasn't chubby. I wasn't none of that. I was literally like a normal sized child. I think it's because I started puberty earlier than a lot of my classmates, and so I got breasts. But I literally didn't have any fat on my back. No back fat. I had no muffin top. I didn't have double chins. I ain't had none of this. Like, this is the beginners or something. I ain't never had a double chin, but I'm just saying I didn't have nothing. My face wasn't fat and puffy. Like, there was no indication of fat. I was very active when I was in school. I was a tomboy growing up. Y'all, I lived to be outside. I loved playing basketball. But like I told y'all in a previous video, when I got older and when I was in high school, I wanted to be a part of the band. I don't remember if I told y'all what I wanted to do in the band. But yeah. What I was gonna have to do, I was gonna have to really, really be active. And I mean, yeah, I was bigger then, and I still didn't have like fat. I just had noticeable hips, booty, thighs. That was about it. But yeah, y'all. But like I said, I was as a child, and when people were teasing me, I literally was not even fat. That's the sad part about all this. But I actually let it go to my head. In my mind, I was like, wow, these are my peers. They're obviously seeing something that I don't see. All these people who are teasing on me see something that I don't see, then it must be true. I don't know why my mind thought that, but that's the way my mind processed it. And it didn't go well for me. I am a very emotional, so to speak, person. Like, I'm the type of person that I do get emotional because I want everybody around me to be happy, because I really do feed off of other people's energy. If you are upset, it makes me upset. So anyway, with that situation, for me, I would go in my room, close my door, and cry to myself. At that time, it was me, my sister, and my brother. I had my own room at first, and then my sister was born. We both had our own separate rooms, and my brother was born. Then they ended up making me and my sister be in the room together, y'all. So I would have to find creative ways to have moments to myself in order to cry. So if I didn't have anywhere to go, I would just go to my bed and turn my face to the wall and just cry into my pillow, or just make sure I'm not facing my sister and be as quiet as possible while I was crying. And I would just think of the terrible things that were said to me. And I just believed every single thing that was said to me by these kids. And I'm just like, I don't understand. I mean, I was young. Like, this was before I even got in the 5th grade. People were doing the most. And I'm just like, wow. Y'all, so like I said before, I was not even fat. That's the stupid part. I've always been active. People wanted me always. I mean, that's the thing. You want to try to read me on one hand, but then on the other hand, when we was playing kickball and all that stuff, we played flag football, baseball, kickball, regular baseball. I think I said that, t-ball. Like, we played a whole volleyball. We played so many sports, and like soccer at times. Y'all, we played so many sports at the different schools that I went to. Like, I was very active, and I loved being active. Like, I loved doing all these things, jump rope, all this stuff. I mean, always active. So for people to come at me and try to make it seem like I'm just so fat and all this other stuff, but then you turn around and you see how great I excel at these athletic things, these athletic events, and then you want to pick me and put me on your team. Oh, okay. All right. Y'all, so anyway, that started situations for me where I would eat my feelings, as people like to say. I'm an emotional eater. And it's like, okay, let me try to explain this. I don't know if there's a word for this, but for me, I'm one of 3 ways. If I'm in my feelings deep enough about something, I will eat. If something's going on that's out of my control, and even if I've just eaten, I'll just, like, there's a word for this. I am what is that word? Like, I'll just eat, and there's nothing, like, I forgot what that, y'all don't know why that just escaped my mind like that. It's a word for it where you just eat, and like, I'll literally be like, oh, I literally have just eaten, and then like 30 minutes later, I'll just go get something to snack on, or get something else that's like a fourth of a meal or a half of a meal worth of whatever I'm eating. And it was just, and I mean, that still actually happens today, y'all. And so it's crazy. I don't understand. I can't think of the word, y'all. Y'all tell me in the comments what that word, that word or the words are that describes a person like that just eats when, just because. I can't even think of the word. There's a word for that, y'all. And the third thing is, it's weird, but it still fits. Y'all, I will have moments where I'll just not eat at all. Like, you might see me and you be like, ooh, she fat, she huge, and say all this stuff about me, but a lot of times I don't even be eating. People will sit up there and try to make me eat because I'm not eating. And there have been times that I haven't eaten like all day, and I'm so focused on getting something done or certain things that I literally will forget to eat. Or the thought will cross my mind. I'm like, oh no, I'll finish this, and then something else will pop up. I'll be like, oh well, no, I'm gonna do this. I ain't gotta eat today. Like, in my mind, I'm just like, oh, I'm good. Stomach won't growl or nothing. I don't know what that's about, y'all. But in all honesty, I guess TMI, or spoiler alert. Go ahead and fast forward 20 seconds for what I'm about to say. The most I actually eat is when my cycle is on. I flow very, very, very heavy. Always have. Even before I got big, it just is what it is for me. And so a lot of the times I just want everything. There are times I will be like, okay, I want some curly fries from Arby's. I want a Whopper from Burger King. I want a strawberry lemonade from Wendy's, and I want an ice cream cone from somebody. Like I don't know if it's McDonald's or who. I don't know because I don't eat McDonald's. I don't care. I just need the. I've literally done this before. I've done this several times. I will crave stuff from various places, and I will make a meal out of it instead of just being like, oh, let me just go to one place if I don't want to cook. Y'all, it's really ridiculous in all honesty, but that's just the way my mind processes stuff. And another thing that fed the fuel or fed the fire within me when it came to being a food addict, being addicted to food like this is when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot. What we did have, my parents made do. Yes, my father was a state employee, but he was paying the insurance for 5 people and trying to make sure the lights were on, trying to make sure the house was warm, make sure we had water, all the necessities. Barely could afford any clothes, had to have hand-me-downs. Like, for real, we really were struggling. That he literally was the real definition of the working poor. That really was a real thing. So there were times that we actually didn't really eat. There were times that it couldn't afford to pay for gas. So we had to wait a week here or a little bit longer, and whether there was actually wood kindling in order to have a fire made. A year or two maybe, there really wasn't much, so we had to ration that in order to burn wood. Like it's a lot, but we made do. Like we did what we had to do in order to stay warm. And, a lot of people don't understand. We had a lot of struggles, but when it came to the food portion, since we were poor like that, I had to deal with the fact that I couldn't have what I wanted. My parents bought what was needed. I couldn't go in a store and say, oh, Mom, I want some Doritos, I want some ice cream, I want some candy, I want frozen pizzas, I want all this junk food, y'all. This is what I want. And I was going to get it. I almost never would be able to get anything I wanted. It would have to be a special occasion, like my birthday, and even then, more than likely, I wasn't getting that. But it would have to be something like my mama paid all the bills with my daddy's checks, and somehow, y'all, what in the world? My bad, y'all. It was just foggy randomly out of nowhere. Y'all, I ain't got time. But anyway, but it would have to be like a really, really, really rare occasion that would have to happen in order for money to be able to be spent on something. Like a certain cereal. Like there were times we didn't have cereal. Like we didn't have the things that are normal to other people. Like my mama would barely have cereal. We had powdered milk that was given to us by the government and all this other stuff, or donated at food banks and different churches and stuff. Like, I can't, y'all don't be understanding. For me to have been a child and didn't have everything available to me like that, I really was picky. I've always been picky. Like, my mama would cook meatloaf. Y'all, I cannot with meatloaf. I will starve. But my mama knew that I genuinely did not like it. I don't know what it is about meatloaf, y'all. To me, the egg that's in it, it's like I feel like I can taste it, like the rawness. I don't know why. And it's fully cooked. And my mama, like, everything is, like, well done. So I don't know what in the world that's about. I ain't never been here for meatloaf and never will be. But my mama had gotten to the point where she knew that was just something that I just can't. I really can't. I will sit there and just not have nothing and be fine. But I'm a child. I have to eat. And so my mama would try to create something for me to have to eat. when they would have meatloaf or when they would have something that I don't eat, because I don't eat liver either. Oh gosh, it had gotten so bad with liver, y'all, and I need liver, y'all. I am anemic, really, really bad. My daddy lives for liver. He loved liver. I can't do it. It got so bad, y'all, that I would be at school. They would cook liver. Now I'm from Alabama. Liver was a normal thing that they had on the menu at the schools back in the day when I was in school. That was a normal thing that was on the menu. They had that at least once a month. Y'all, it would be so bad. They would cook liver, and I would smell it in the hallways while I'm changing classes, going to the bathroom, doing whatever. This is elementary now. Y'all, it was so bad that when it first started hitting me, when it first actually started happening, I had to get checked out of school. Now keep in mind, I ride a bus to and from school. This was so bad that my mama realized the severity of it and put my aunt on the little card in order to pick me up from school if situation like I literally would be in the bathroom throwing up. I don't know what in the world it is about liver. I cannot do it. I can't do it. Y'all, I would have to check out every time. So anyway, I just can't. For me, I didn't have things accessible that I liked. And since it was few and far in between when I would be able to have cookies and candy and little cereal that I wanted and chips and all this junk food that was easily accessible to different people at school that I knew and other people that I had as friends. When I became an adult and I was working, in my mind, I was like, oh, I got the money. I'm going to have this. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I started doing. I would buy all the things. I would overcompensate for the things that I never had. So that ended up being a terrible thing that I picked up. And I wish I didn't, because I kind of have no self-control, to be honest. I don't. I would sit there and I would I remember one time the store had a really amazing sale on sour gummy worms or sour worms or whatever they call them. It was a 4 or 5 pound bag. Y'all gonna read, but I bought 2 bags. I went through both of those bags in less than a week. And I mean, there were times that I would sit there and eat like a pound of them, if I'm not mistaken, or half a pound. Y'all. And this would not be in addition to food or anything. That's my issue that I face now as an adult. I will sit there and instead of eating a meal, like eating a protein, a vegetable or two, and like a small amount of starch, I'll sit there and I will eat like a half a bag of Doritos or something, even though they don't be having all that many chips in these bags nowadays, more air than chips. But I'm just saying, I will sit there and eat chips. I'll eat junk instead of actually eating food. And y'all, it didn't really got out of hand. It's ridiculous. I'll eat a candy. Y'all, this is something that I do, and I don't even know where it came from. I'll sit up here and I'll eat a candy bar. I'll eat a chocolate candy bar. Like a milk chocolate candy bar that has almonds in it, or I'll eat a Snickers bar, king size, and I'll eat it with either plain chips or I eat it with bananas. Y'all, I don't know. I'm just weird. I don't know when it comes to certain things and food combinations. I just do crazy stuff. I don't know what that's about. And I'm not pregnant. I've never been pregnant. I don't know what any of that's about. Y'all, but I know that it's a problem. That's the thing. I know it and I acknowledge it. It's just gotten to the point now I need to figure out what has to happen for something to go off in my mind for me to be like, hey, you don't need to do this. You know what I'm saying? But it's so hard. I don't know why. It's hard, y'all. It really is. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie about it. It's really hard. Because I really will sit up here and I'll be doing good. That's crazy. That's like I say that's a crazy thing all the time, but it really is. This is a crazy thing. I really would do well for a while. I won't have soda. I won't really have juice like that. I will be drinking water and green tea with really barely any sugar in it. And I'll be eating normal meals. Every now and again, I'll throw in some junk food here and there, and actual normal types of portions of it, not going overboard. Y'all, randomly, like, somebody will have a sale on like some ice cream or something. I'll get it at that abnormally low price because it's a favorite of mine. I'll get it. I'll be good. I'll let it sit in the freezer. I really will be good. I don't know what it is. And then, like, randomly one day, I don't know, I might get some bad news or something, and then I'm still good, and then it'll just hit me. And then my mind will just eventually kind of drift off into, yeah, I'm going to go eat some ice cream. I'll literally, for breakfast, I'll just go get a bowl of ice cream sometimes. And it's just like, I know how to make things from scratch. You know what I'm saying? I actually try to do good. I have turkey sausage that I like. I like sausage patties. I don't like links and all that stuff. I like turkey sausage. I'll do grits, but I try not to have like a lot of butter or a lot of salt in that. And eggs. Cool. I do like what they call what I call a breakfast bowl because of the inspiration from Crystals. If you don't know what Crystals is, if you know what White Castle is, I guess that's somewhat of an equivalent, so to speak. But yeah, they have breakfast, and that's what they call one of their bowls, and it's all that stuff that I just mentioned mixed together. I love it. You know what I'm saying? And I can do where it equals up to like a cup of that mixture, and I'm good. And I just drink a lot of water. But then there are other times that I'll just basically pig out. I don't know what in the world, y'all. My mind, I don't know what I have to do, but I'm trying to get there. I really am trying. And I know it's a problem. Y'all, I have pre-existing health problems, meaning I have anemia, like I already said. Y'all, I've done this in my 20s. I'm trying to do it again in my 30s, y'all. I had iron pills before, so I'm trying to take iron pills again. This time, the iron pills aren't that dark red color because I don't know what it is about those. They taste disgusting, meaning even if I don't taste them when they're going down, like they make me like burp and stuff. Not belch or like be loud or anything. Like, I can be silent burps and I'll taste it like all throughout the day. But these that I took, I started last night taking them. I didn't taste them at all, and I'm glad. I was just like, okay, because they have some kind of like little smell, but as far as taking them, I haven't had any issues. I have arthritis really, really, really bad. Really bad, to the point where there's no cartilage in my knees. There has not been cartilage in my knees since like my early 20s. And it never really affected me until recent years. Y'all, 2 Novembers ago, the very beginning of November, I tried to get up and go to work. Literally tried to get out of bed just so I can get up. I mean, I was happy because I looked at the time before I even tried to get up, and it was early, so I was like, yes. So I don't have to worry about trying to rush and get ready for work. Y'all, tried to get out of bed. It felt like my knee had snapped in the middle of the night, and my brain didn't even realize it until I tried to get out of bed, y'all. I like fell to the floor and everything. Like, it was excruciating pain. It was to the point where I'll be at work, and where I work, myself and a select few people, we work upstairs in this particular area. So I have to go up and down steps a few times a day because I gotta go to breaks and I gotta leave and go home. Y'all, when that first happened, I had to literally, on the leg that wasn't hurting and doing the most, or whatever the issue is, y'all, I don't know. I still to this day don't know because I don't have insurance anymore. I don't know if it was a torn ligament. I have no idea. I literally just got up. And I never felt pain like this before. And I have arthritis, like I said, y'all. I have had pain. I had moments when it was freezing cold and it was making the most happen to my joints. But I had never felt anything like this before. I don't understand. And I didn't do anything weird when I got up. So, y'all, I think it's attributed slightly to my weight, but I don't know what that's about. But yeah, as far as the pain that I have now, I know that when I, and if I, ain't no if, y'all, when I do lose some of this weight, a lot of the pain will dissipate. And I mean, that is the bottom line. I do have to lose weight. I used to lose weight like it was nothing back in the day. Y'all, I've done diets. There was a diet that I've done before that worked. And this is my issue with diets. The diet that I did before, and I mean, I was a child, y'all. I was in junior high and high school. And I, like I said, I wasn't even fat, y'all. But anyway, and it worked. I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. I don't know if anybody want to try it. No, just in case somebody want to lose a little weight, you will see that it really does work. I just hate it, but I'm gonna tell y'all what it is, and I'm gonna explain why I hate it. Okay, I thought it was called a grapefruit juice diet, but apparently it's not. Because when I tried to Google it so that I could just send a screenshot of what it was to my best friend, so that she could see all the options of things that she could eat, it didn't come up. It came up, and all this other random stuff came up, y'all. But anyway, you always drink 1 cup of grapefruit juice with your breakfast, with your lunch, and with your dinner. And so what it is I think it's 12 straight days if you're doing what you're supposed to do. For breakfast, you eat like a boiled egg or 2 boiled eggs. You can eat as much bacon as you want, and you eat like a half a piece of toast or a whole piece of toast or something like that, y'all. And like I said, with a cup of grapefruit juice. And you can have like a little peanut butter on it, on the toast. And that was basically what I would have for breakfast every day. I love breakfast. I'm a breakfast person. My mom was pregnant with me. All she could keep now was breakfast food, so I live for breakfast. So that part of the diet, I didn't mind because I love breakfast. Y'all, when I tell you when it came to lunch and dinner was basically the same, but you could just switch up the protein or whatever you want the vegetable to be. The vegetables that you have to eat are green. Everything is green, so you can literally eat collard greens, green beans, Brussels sprouts. All that stuff was switched up all throughout each day that I did it, y'all. Chicken, whatever you wanted the meat to be. And I think that was it. And then, like I said, you have to have a cup of grapefruit juice to drink with it, right? Okay, cool. I didn't have a problem with that at first, y'all. So the way it goes is for like 12 days, I think, 2 weeks. 2 weeks you do the diet, then you have a whole weekend off. Then you go back to it. And when you have that weekend off, you can eat anything you want, however much you want. It does not matter, because that Monday, when you go back to what you were doing, it doesn't even matter, y'all. I don't know. It actually worked. Like, it really, really successfully worked for me and my mama and everybody else around us who actually did it faithfully. Y'all, I can't do it, though. Stuff like that, I get sick of stuff. Most things like that, it makes me sick. I really, literally get sick of stuff. And I'm just like, I ain't got time for this. And so I would stop. So I don't know. I thought about doing it again, but I don't know. Y'all, but anyway, as far as this food addiction thing, it really is serious. And people don't understand that it really is something serious. A lot of people sit up there and try to joke and be like, all you got to do is put that burger down, and then you will stop being fat. And close your mouth, stop eating all the time. It's very easy to say this. It is very easy to say that, but to do it, it's completely different. It really is. People don't understand how hard that actually is. So I just wish people would just shut up. Nobody, I'm not asking your opinion on that. I just wish people would shut up when they would say that. I ain't gonna lie, I've had a few moments where I've slipped up and said that, like when sometimes I'll watch my 600-pound life. Well, y'all, wait a minute. The most recent time I've said something similar to that was when I was watching the first season of Family by the Ton. They had the black family on there. This was the first season they ever had this show on the air, y'all. Tell me why one of the family members went somewhere and got a whole bunch of pizzas. And they were sitting there on the way to a family event. And him and the cousin were eating whole pizzas. Now, they were not personal pan pizzas. They were whole pizzas that they were devouring, and they would be like, "Oh, okay, I think I'd be good till I get to the house," and literally would go to the house and eat some more food that was there. And I was just like, "How do you have room for all of this?" Like that. I mean, that's what I would say. I'm like, I don't understand, like stuff like that. I don't get. Like for me, people think because I'm fat that I could just put it away, and I can't. I can't. A lot of my friends, most of my friends are smaller than me, and they be eating. And I'm like, what? How you sit there and eat all of that? I don't be understanding. You know what I'm saying? I don't be trying to put on and try to eat like a bird because I'm around my smaller friends, but it just is what it is for me. If there are times that I actually, which is actually bad for you, I never knew that until like recent years. Something that I do that I'm gonna have to get out of is if I know I'm gonna meet up with like one of my friends later, she and I are going to get our life and catch up because we don't work together anymore. And I just won't eat at all that day so that I can eat a full meal and drink my drink and just be happy that I'm getting some food that I want. Usually it's like at this Mexican restaurant that we like. And I'm just like, that's terrible because I need to eat breakfast. Y'all, there are times that I'm good on breakfast and other times I'm not, as far as not eating. I can't do it. Most of the time my body's like, look, I'd be about to throw up when I don't eat. Y'all, I can't. My body just be like, no, what you're not finna do is this. So that's something that I really do have to get out of the habit of because like my birthday is coming up and one of my closest friends, she's taking me somewhere and she's basically waiting on me to tell her where. And that's what we do for each other's birthday. We take each other somewhere to eat. And, you know, if we want to, we'll give them something else as an actual gift outside of the paid gift of going to the restaurant of your choice. So, y'all, I got to get out of that. That actually is bad for you. Basically starving yourself. I never knew this until, I know at one point in time I really wanted to lose weight, right? And like I said, I was not even fat like that, y'all. I went to the doctor and I told the doctor that I really wanted to lose weight. And I was so proud of myself for doing this, y'all. And I told her, I told the doctor, I said, yeah, I haven't been eating and I don't understand why I'm not losing weight like that. And so she was like, doing that is not good for you because the longer you go without, your stomach starts to eat on itself. I don't know if I'm saying that right, y'all. I'm sorry if I'm not, but you know what I'm saying. Because it has to have something else to get the nutrients that my body needs. So it's pulling from other places because it's not coming in. So it has to basically go from within to get what is already there that should be being replenished throughout the day. And I'm sitting up there starving myself thinking that I'm going to lose weight that way. I've heard other people do that. And it looked like it worked for them, but they probably were actually adding throwing up into the mix, but I didn't know that, and I'm glad that I never got into that, thank the Lord, because that would have been a whole nother situation for me, and I already know. So, y'all, I just wanted to let y'all in on that little, bit of information about myself, that I am a food addict. I do have a food addiction. I am trying to work through it. It is very, very difficult for me. I don't know why that keeps happening. This never used to happen before, y'all. I don't know what in the world. I'm tired. Dang, setting it off. But anyway. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. And if you have a food addiction, just know that, we can get through this. Let's try to get through this together because it's not a good place to be in, especially when you're not healthy. I know I'm not healthy, and I am willing to work through it in order to get to my goal, which is to lose some weight and to just be healthy in general. Because before, believe it or not, the doctors used to be astounded by the fact that I didn't have any ailments outside of the fact I have asthma. I was born with asthma. I'm anemic, and I've always had arthritis for as long as they can remember. That's literally all they could find. Didn't have high blood pressure, didn't have heart issues, I didn't have diabetes, anything. And like I said, the doctors were always ready to be like, okay, she big. Now, well, this time we gonna finally catch her, and we gonna tell her she need to get on some high blood pressure medication and all this other stuff. It never happened. Because like I keep trying to tell y'all, just because somebody's fat, that doesn't mean they automatically are eating up everything in the world. That's not everybody. There's a lot of us that are out there doing the most, but a lot of us aren't. And or we're not always gonna have to have these terrible diseases and be sick like that. So I'm just trying to get y'all to understand that it really is hard. It really is a sickness of sorts. Like I said, it's really hard. A lot of people do not understand. If you don't have it, you don't understand. It really is a lot. And I'm trying to take it day by day, y'all. It's a lot, but I'm trying. Anyway, y'all pray for me on that, because I know it's going to be hard. It's already hard. I've tried this before. I've done this over and over and over again, but yeah. Y'all, please just pray for me. It's a lot. Pray for everybody else who is going through the same thing, because the food addiction really is real. And I hate that shows like My 600-Pound Life outlines this in these people. And the situation has gotten so bad that they just can't stop eating. Like the last episode that I saw, y'all, I was so tired. I was exhausted and full just watching her. Y'all, the woman had a husband. Her husband would make her breakfast. Okay, made her breakfast, right? She had a full breakfast. She was done with her breakfast. It's time for her to be driven by him to someplace to eat brunch. Ma'am, it ain't even been an hour, and you over here at a lunch, at someplace getting lunch? What, a brunch? I was like, what? And then when she's done doing that, they'll go park the car, eat that together, and then they'll go back home. And that particular day, apparently, they stopped by somewhere else, I think, and pick up food for her to have for lunch, because he gonna be at work all day. Y'all, tell me why she had dinner right. Her parents came over. Her mama made this meal. That meal looked good, though. I ain't gonna lie. I know I'm wrong. That meal looked good. She ate a whole dinner with her parents. Then her husband came home, and she was finna eat again. I was just like, how? Where do you fit it? I don't be I was serious. I really am not even trying to read. I don't be understanding where these people be putting it. And then they like sometimes do close-ups showing them putting the food in their mouth. I'll just be like, where is it going? Y'all, another thing that I feel that is keeping me from going over a certain weight and definitely not going anywhere near 600 pounds. Y'all, this same episode, tell me why this woman went to the bathroom. I was like, okay, why they showing her go to the bathroom? I only see them show the people getting washed or them washing themselves, y'all. They show her doing that too. But y'all, I'm looking like, why they showing her going to the bathroom? Y'all, her husband politely walked into the bathroom, put some gloves on, went and stood in the shower. I was like, I know he ain't finna do what I think he finna do. That man went in there. She stood up and bent over, and he wiped her behind. I'm sorry. I can't. I do not have time. I ain't never in my life ever trying to get big like that. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm huge. I'm already huge. I ain't got time. I would be embarrassed beyond belief. I don't care if you my husband or not. I would be so embarrassed that I'm so big that I can't even wipe my own behind. I can't. I cannot. I cannot do that. I can't do that to myself. Y'all, I was just so through. I was like, oh my gosh. But she literally would say throughout the show that she's thinking of her next meal. And I ain't even gonna lie, I have moments where I do that too. So Every time you look up, you might see me reference my 600-pound life. And it's because a lot of that stuff resonates with me because I actually have those same thoughts. I just didn't have the situations that were attached to the reasons why they started eating or would continue to eat. Because I think with her situation, her parents got divorced. My parents are happily married. They've been married for how old am I? In a couple of days, it will be 36 years that they've been happily married. And I ain't never had they are the perfect couple, in my opinion, for me to model what I wish my situation could be, in the end, after it's all said and done. You know what I'm saying? They are everything. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I'm sorry, it is just so, it look like it just, a fire erupted and it's just so foggy. I don't even understand, y'all. It is so foggy out of nowhere. I can't even see. I'm glad I ain't got nowhere to be. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just too much because I was like, what is going on? Anyway, y'all, I just never want to get to that point in my life. I ain't gonna lie. My size, because of the knee situation, it has gotten to the point where I don't even like to really go anywhere. I used to not have a problem with being like, oh, okay, I left something in the car. Let me go back out and get it. Unless it's my phone, y'all, or my purse, I'm not going back out to my car to get nothing because there's fewer steps I got to take to deal with the issues that I have going on with my knee. And I don't like going anywhere where there's an incline or I have to walk a certain distance now. Now, I'm not at that point where I can't walk but a couple of steps and then I got to sit down and take a break and all that stuff. I'm nowhere near that. I can push through, but I would prefer not because depending on how my knee is reacting any given day, it just makes it so hard for me to get through it. And I hate that feeling. And I'm trying to get back to the old me where I was big, but I still had no problem. I would walk circles around other people. And I just never used to have issues when it came to just simply walking somewhere. I never gave a thought about, oh, well, I gotta walk. Like now, I'm like, dang, now I gotta walk this, I gotta walk that. I have been to what do they call it? The North Carolina State Fair. Y'all, if you ain't never been to that, when I tell you walking, that is some walking. And I've done that and I didn't think twice about it back then. That wasn't but like 7, 8 years ago, y'all. That wasn't that bad at all. But now, just the thought of half of the walking that I did, oh no, no. Y'all, it really is a struggle. And like I said, I really am going to need y'all's prayers and support. Y'all's prayers and support. Because it really is hard. Like, I don't care what somebody says. You cannot sit up here and say, well, just put the burger down and then you'll be all right. That's not how it goes. It's really not as simple as y'all would think it would be. There are a lot of emotional attachments that I know I personally have to eating. Recently, in recent years, my last living grandparent passed away. Her birthday was 2 days ago. I planned on making a video about it, but I wanted to make a video when it first happened, but when I tell y'all, it was so bad to the point where any thought of her would instantly make me break down. I would be at work and I would just break down and I would try to hide. And people be like, what in the world is wrong with her? People did not understand that I was going all of the way through. I did not take her death well. And she lived her life. She really did live her life. She had a long life, but I just did not take it well at all. Y'all, when that happened, I had moments where I wouldn't eat at all. And then I had other days where I would try to be happy and fake the funk. And I would eat And like I said, I would kind of trick my mind into thinking, oh, I'm good. And I would overeat. And I would do the most, y'all. Like I said, I'm an emotional eater and I hate that. But it's something that I'm going to have to work through. And if y'all have any suggestions, I actually have thought of getting hypnotized. I was about to say hypnotizing myself, like I could do that myself. Y'all, I actually have thought about, what is it called, hypnotherapy. I've thought about that for years. But I'm kind of scared because I have heard some things, so I don't know about that. I don't know what else I could do that I can actually do on my own without having to pay somebody. So, excuse me. If y'all have any suggestions that are actually really helpful and not trying to fat bash and all this other ignorant stuff, then I am very much so open to those opinions and those options. Please leave those below because I really do need help. I am struggling with this. I'm trying, but I am struggling at the same time, y'all. So, I guess I'll end it here. I wasn't trying to be long-winded like this, but it was just moments, y'all. And I don't know, I might, put some more information throughout other videos about this and just see where it goes. But anyway, that's the end of this video. I thank you for watching, and y'all have a wonderful evening. Bye.